Hey, it's me, the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. Hey, check out my new tag team, baby, Monty and the Pharaoh.
Hey, Jimmy, don't forget to tell them about Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast.
Well, you know what, I would, but you already did it.
It's Monty and the Pharaoh.
With Monty and Pharaoh. The Monty and Pharaoh Show.
Monty and Pharaoh, bro.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
Monty and the Pharaoh. The Monty and the Pharaoh.
The Monty and Pharaoh Show.
And you're watching the Monty and Pharaoh Show.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
With Monty and the Pharaoh.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
It's Monty and the Pharaoh.
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 Monty and Pharaoh.
It's Monty and the Pharaoh.
And Monty and the Pharaoh. Oh, is it Monty and the Pharaoh?
Monty and Pharaoh.
The Monty and the Pharaoh Show.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
To the Monty and the Pharaoh Show. And it's Monty and the Pharaoh, baby.
Watching Monty and the Pharaoh.
With Monty and the Pharaoh.
Monty and the Pharaoh. Oh, what a run.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
Hey, cut music. When you want the best in professional wrestling, Long Island, there's only one place you're going to get it, right here.
Monty and the Pharaoh. Now, that's not just the coolest, and that's not just the best. That, my friends, is just incredible. Monty and the Pharaoh.
You've got the future Hall of Famer, that rocker, Marty Jannetty, and MJ in the house, and I'm sitting here with two more future Hall of Famers, Monty and the Pharaoh. We're doing that stuff, and we gonna rock it.
And Jose walked in front of Brody into the shower. Brody walked in behind Jose. As soon as Brody stepped in the shower, this is what I hear. Just like that.
Straight to the top. We're living this life, not just dreaming it, we're doing it for real. Straight to the top. Working hard every day just to live out that way.
Mr. USA Tony Atlas, we have not seen him since the big event which we worked the gimmick table at the M&P table.
You know, we've had you in several times in the past, and we've actually purposely stayed away from the Bruiser Brody subject. But tonight, I wanted to know, can you give the fans any closer insight about that night that you may not have? I'm sure you've been asked this 1,000 times. Is there anything that you may want to disclose that we may not know about the stabbing of Brody?
It was so strange with me and Brody. Me and Brody been knowing each other since the 70s. I first met him, he was working in Amarillo, Texas. He just got through playing college football and everything. And we worked together some then. We worked all over. But then I went to Von Erich territory in Texas. And I went in as the Black Superman. That's when I first started wearing the Superman suit. And George Scott was the booker. When George Scott left and left Brody as the booker, Brody said, Tony, George Scott said, don't worry, Brody going to take care of you. 1 week after Brody took the book, he didn't book me for no shows. He didn't book, at that time, the Dingo Warrior for no shows. With the Dingo Warrior working back and forth between Japan.
Just in case fans don't know, Dingo Warrior ended up being the Ultimate Warrior in the
it
WWE.
became the Ultimate Warrior.
Yes.
But at that time, he was the Dingo Warrior. And he was working back and forth between Japan and world-class wrestling. And Brody left us at home. One day Brody called me and said, Tony, I got your book. So I went down to Fort Worth, Texas to do the TV because I figured, because I was traveling back and forth out of Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico was the only place I could wrestle because Vince had blackballed me everywhere else. So the only place I could work during that year was world-class wrestling and Puerto Rico. So I was going back and forth in Puerto Rico. So when I got there, Brody said, well, I made a mistake, you're not booked. So I got so pissed off, and you can ask some of the guys that was around during that time, I challenged Brody to a fight on the parking lot. I invited him out in the parking lot.
Nice.
And then the guy came up, Earl. His name was Eric Razor or something like that.
Eric Embry?
Embry.
Eric Embry, look
Eric
at
Embry.
you!
He was there. He was there.
Florida.
So if you talk
Eric
to
Embry.
Eric Embry, you ask him about that. So I wanted to fight Brody. So I called out the parking lot. Eric Embry came out and said, Tony, you better leave. They called the cops on you.
What?
And I said, the cops. They said, Tony, these cops will shoot you. Get in your car, get out of here. I got in my car, I left. I didn't see Brody anymore until he came to Puerto Rico. So he was there for the whole week. I didn't say nothing to him the whole week. Finally, we was in the gym working out. Brody walked over to me. I laid the waist down. I figured we're gonna go at it.
Oh boy.
He held his hand out to me. He said, Tony, I'm sorry for what happened to you in Texas. I had nothing to do with that. He said the reason that they got rid of you and the reason that they would not book the Warrior is because both y'all got better physique than Curry Von Erich. See, Curry was in an accident. He wrecked. He was in a auto accident and he lost 1 foot, so he was out of the scene for a while. So now he's coming back. Well, you know, Curry had a great physique too.
Yeah.
So the Ultimate Warrior was lucky. He went to Vince and became the Ultimate Warrior. I went to Puerto Rico. So after me and Brody, we talked to everything. He said, but I promise you, Tony, I promise you, things will be different here. He said, I waited a long time to get in down here. Now, I knew then he wasn't talking about wrestling because he'd been wrestling there for years.
Promoting?
He bought in. He gave them money he bought some of the territory. He bought some shit.
So whose shares did he take?
From what I hear, I'm not for sure because I'm not in the office. I hear he took Gorilla Monsoon.
Wow.
Shares. Because Monsoon had shares in there. So he bought, I think, was Monsoon share. Now you talk to Abdullah, the butcher, lab piece of he's going to say it didn't happen. but that's him. He got to live with that. So anyway, we shook hands and everything. And then we left. We went back to the hotel. Well, I went upstairs, showered and everything, got dressed, and I told the guy at the gym because he said, I never saw you wrestle. He said, I'm coming tonight to watch wrestling. I said, you want to get in free? He goes, yeah. I said, why don't you give me a ride to the arena? That way you can get in free, and then later on we go out and get some paella. Paella is like rice with seafood in it.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
And he said, oh, great. He said, I know a great place make the best paella. So he said, you mind if I bring my wife along? At that time was his girlfriend. I said, no, go ahead. So the guy pulled up to get me. I came out of the hotel. It was called the Tanama. And Brody and Dutch Mantel was sitting on the steps. So I said, Brody, why you staying here? I said, I'm always late. How come you late today? He said, I'm waiting for Jose to pick me up. Now, man, you out there, Fat, Jose is the man that murdered him. He was waiting at the hotel for his murderer. He had no idea. They rode together all week. They rode together the whole week. So Brody had no idea. So I got in the back seat, me and Dutch Mantel sat in the back seat. The bodybuilder, the guy that owned the gym, I think they call it the Muscle Factory or something like that. The Muscle Factory. The girl slid over to the center, and Brody sat in the front seat because he's so big, he couldn't fit in the back. So me and Dutch had to get in the back seat. Mantel would tell you the same story. He was there. So we get to the building, and as y'all know, I do artwork. So Mark and Jay Youngblood had contracted me to do a picture for them. So I was putting the finishing touch on the picture. Bruiser Brody walked over to me and said, wow, I didn't know you drew like that. He said, that looked just like them guys. He said, I had pictures done of my son before, but it was character draw with a big head and a small body. He said, can you do one of my boy for me, my son? I said, I can have it done for you. I said, I'll be finished with this one in about a few minutes, and I get started on yours now. I said, give me the picture. I start on it now. I said, we got another week here. Before the week is out, I have your picture done for you. He said, what I owe you? I said, nothing, brother. I said, I just like to draw. I said, I don't charge, my friend. So Brody said, okay. So as he reached in his pouch to get his picture, by then Jose, I skipped the part. When me and Brody first walked in, Carlos Colon, Victor Jerica, and Jose, the murderer, they were sitting like in a football huddle. When Brody came through the door, they all did this. Like they saw a ghost. Jose got up, left out of the dressing room. Didn't pay no attention. I went down and started doing my drawing. So Jose come back into the dressing room. He had a towel over his hand. And he came up to Brody. He said, Brody, can I talk to you, por favor? Por favor is Spanish for please. Very nice, very relaxed, very respectful. So Brody, very nice, turned around and go, okay. And Brody turned, and I was reaching to get the picture. So like say the picture was coming, I almost had the picture in my hand, and then when Jose called it, Brody turned. But he still had the picture in his hand. And Jose walked in front of Brody into the shower. Brody walked in behind Jose. As soon as Brody stepped in the shower, this is what I hear. Just like that. I looked up. When I looked up, Jose raised the knife in the air like this. I sprung from my seat, grabbed Brody around the waist. I pulled him back. When I pulled him back, the knife came back, cut off some of his ponytail. I went to grab Jose. I'm holding Brody with one arm, trying to hold him up, and try to sucker punch this bastard in the face. Carlos Colon cut me off. Grabbed Jose, pushed Jose up against the wall, and said, no, Jose, no, Jose. So I went, the Brody looked at me and said, brother, I'm hurt. Don't let them.
Real quick, Tony, do you think no Jose meant that Jose was going to come try to stab you and he stopped him from stabbing you, or was just, he was like...
Was Cologne full of anyway? Cause...
Let me tell you something. I was as worried about Jose stabbing me as I worried about getting pregnant.
There you go.
There's two in the dressing room you can whack. Brody would never got stabbed if he had known. He would have took that knife from Jose and shoved it up his butt if he had known. Brody had a picture of his son in his one hand, had his wrestling bag in the other hand.
Oh, so you're thinking if he didn't grab that picture from you, he might have been able to defend himself.
Picture in my hand.
Yeah.
Brody is like, this is Jose. Here's Brody. He turned into him.
Right.
He turned and hit him.
Right.
Yeah.
Brody never saw the knife.
Never. Right.
I tell you, it was in his, when Brody first laid out on his knife, it was in his stomach. He turned and hit him. I'm looking at, he turned. I thought he punched him.
Right.
Because Brody's so wide, you can't even see Jose. But Brody will walk behind him. If you could picture it in your man, and all of a sudden you follow somebody, they just turn and stick you. What you gonna do?
Right.
So Carlos was more afraid of me getting a hold of Jose. That's what he was trying to protect Jose, not me. He cared about me.
Right.
But anyway, make a long story short. So Brody said, I'm hurt, brother. Don't let them. He didn't say him.
Right.
He said them. Don't let them hurt me anymore. I said, brother, don't worry about it. Ain't nobody going to do a thing to you. So I laid him down on the floor. Carlos tried to talk to him. I told Carlos, I said, if you come over here, I'm going to knock your head right off your freaking shoulders. I said, if anybody come over here, I'm going to knock the head off the shoulder. So Carlos said, I want to talk to him. So Brody laid on the floor. He tugged on my pants leg like this. He said, let Carlos come. Carlos come over and asked Brody, said, anything I could do for you? Brody said, take care of my family. So then the ambulance came after about an hour and 45 minutes. Almost 2 hours he laid in the floor bleeding.
Why so long?
Because it was the beginning of the show, and all the fans was coming in.
Okay.
So this was at the beginning of the show. So at them days, the arenas used to be packed.
Right.
So the ambulance had a long time getting there. Well, they didn't rush either because they come to the show before. They would think it's a regular. Because the people they saw was an elderly lady and an old man. And they couldn't lift Brody. So one of the guys said, can somebody help us lift him up and put him on the ambulance? So I went over and I stuck my hand under him. I squatted down so I could lift the girder up. And Brody said, don't you drop me. I said, brother, I curl more than you weigh. So he got a little smile on his face, so I put him on the ambulance. Then, as we was leaving, the guy turned again and said, anybody want to go to the hospital with him? Every wrestler in that dressing room turned their head.
Right.
They turned around. I got on the ambulance. I'm on the back. And it was this Mexican guy was called Hercules somebody. I can't remember his name. He had a son, Miguel Perez. But anyway, I saw him. And I was very strong in them days. I grabbed him by the belt.
Yeah, in them
I
days.
grabbed him by the belt. I drug him on the ambulance. He said, Tony, don't get me involved in this. Don't get me involved in this. I said, all I want you to do is interpret for me. I couldn't speak Spanish. I said, I just want you to tell them what I say. He said, okay. And I kept holding him. He kept trying to get off that ambulance. But once we got on the interstate, he kind of stopped trying to jump off the ambulance.
Yeah.
So we get to the hospital, and they put Brody in there, and he was laying on the table, and I'm waiting for the doctor. Nobody coming. So finally I saw a doctor walking down the hallway reading a paper. I said, are you a doctor? He read some paper or something. I said, you a doctor? He said, yes. I said, I got my friend got stabbed. The doctor walked over to the emergency room and opened up the door. In Puerto Rico, a stabbing is like a cold in America.
Oui.
The doctor ignored it. He turned to walk away. I grabbed that rascal by his waist and threw him up on my shoulder, just like this. I carry him into Brody and set him down right in front of Brody. I said, you're going to look at my friend. So Brody had his hand over the cut. The doctor lifted the cut. The doctor never saw nothing like that before. He said, oh, my God, we need to get him in operation right away. So they got Brody in operation. So I sat there for about an hour and a half while they were doing the thing. The doctor came out. He said, your friend is stable. He said he got 2 8-inch cuts. One cut his liver, one cut his intestine. We got the intestine fixed. We working on the liver now. He said, but we would recommend you go home because everybody in this hospital is scared of you. He said, you got everybody so nervous. He said, I'm afraid that you're going to cause more harm than good. Why don't you come back in your morning? I said, you sure he's okay? He said, your friend going to be okay. We got him stable. His blood pressure, everything is stable. So I left and I went back to the building. When I got back to the building, I'm walking towards the dressing room. I hear, hey, 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 ha, 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 hey, great match. The blood is still wet on the floor. Ain't even dry yet. The guys was laughing and joking about talk about their matching. I got pissed off. I wanted to beat up everybody in the dressing room. Carlos come over to me and say, Tony, go to the ring. The Sheik is waiting for you. Do your match so you can go back and see Brody later. So I went in the ring. I wrestled with the Iron Sheik. The Sheik said, brother, what happened with the Brody? And I said, Jose stabbed him. Jose Gonzalez stabbed the Brody? I go, yes. This, let's go. So all we did in that match, if you ever see that match, we locked up. He said, give me headbutt, brother. I headbutted, Sheik rolled out the ring, went back to the dressing room. We didn't even give him a match. I get back to the dressing room, a policeman is standing there. He said, he said, we just left the hospital. They told me we left, went to the hotel, we were looking for you. And he said, you the only one that have not gave a statement. You the only one that have not gave a statement. He said, what, do you know what happened? I said, yes. He said, what happened? He said, I said, y'all excuse my language. I said, that son of the bitch right there stabbed him. He said, you mean Vader? Because I said the invader. I said, yeah, that son of the bitch right there stabbed Brody. I was looking right there. He said, how is that possible? And I said, why? He said, everybody in the dressing room that I interviewed said that a wrestling fan did it. So they already had made the story up while I was gone of what they're going to tell the police. So I went back to my hotel room, and what's his name? Sabio Vegas. Sabio Vega?
Yeah.
He was wrestling there as TNT. He was there with my bag. He said, don't go to your room, Tony. They're looking for you because you talking. If you ever talk to Sabio Vega, I always shake his hand. He saved my life. They was waiting for me up in my room. They were going to kill me. So I walked the beach the whole day. Finally, the next morning, I said, screw it. If they up there, we're going to battle. I said, I ain't going to we're going to battle if they're over there. When I got there, one of the seekers said, come on, brother, we're having a meeting in Abdullah the Butcher room. Now, Abdullah on the dark side said there was no meeting. You asked Seeker, there was a meeting. You asked Dutch Mantel, there was a meeting. You asked anybody but Abdullah the Butcher, there was a meeting.
Why would he lie? What's he got to gain?
I think because he got shares in it. And he was the one that called for the meeting. And he don't want callers to know that he got the boys to boycott the week. Because it wasn't for Abdullah calling that meeting. Because Abdullah and Brody was good friends. And we boycotted the week. Nobody would wrestle for him no more that week. And it was our way of standing up to him, boycotting it. So after the meeting, the guy said, well, somebody need to go to, one of the wrestlers said, well, somebody need to go and tell the police what happened. And everybody said, well, I didn't see it. I wasn't there. Dutch Mantell said, well, I left out of the dressing room. I didn't actually see it. When I came back, it was already done. And
was Dutch telling the truth, or is he just like he didn't want any part of it?
I didn't see him leave the dressing room.
Okay.
I didn't see him leave. I didn't see him come in. He said he did, but I didn't see it.
I got you.
I can't talk to that because I was drawing.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, Sika, for people who don't know who Sika is the father of Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the picture of Sika, they look like twins, right?
Yeah.
He looked just like his dad.
Yeah.
So Sika said, I go with you, brother. So I said, oh, okay. I mean, if you got Sika, if y'all really knew Sika in his younger days, you didn't need nobody else.
Right.
I mean, Sika and Alpha was pretty
big.
Peter Maivia and
large.
Oh my God,
Oh, yeah.
Sika was powerful, big, strong, powerful Samoan. So he went with me. I gave my report. I asked the policeman. I said, if I come to trial, can I have protection? He said, once you get to the courthouse, we can protect you. Outside, we can't. He said, we don't have enough manpower to do that. I said, well, I got a .357 Magnum I'd like to bring along with me. He said, that's okay with me as long as you can clear with the airline. I called the airline said, as long as I check it. I can't carry it all.
Yeah, right.
I have to check it with my luggage. And you have to fill out some paper to say you got a weapon. So I said, okay. Y'all did. I gave him my address, gave him everything. I've got to the airport. I sat at the airport. And back in them days, you didn't have to make reservations. Nothing. If you got cash, remember you could buy a ticket with cash.
You just
go. Throw the money on the table. They
Right.
give you a ticket, get on a plane. And I didn't hear no more about Brody until after the trial. I saw it on TV.
Carlos Colon, murderer?
Well, he didn't do the murder.
Conspired to murder. What says Tony Atlas?
That's a good question.
Seriously.
You're on the spot, Mr.
Come on,
Atlas.
Tony.
But see, if I'm the type of person, I don't like to speculate. I only like to talk about what I could prove and what I could do. If I call that man a murderer, he take me to court, how am I going to prove it?
Understood. Now, you did say something interesting earlier, though. You said you were afraid that they were after you. And you felt who's they? Is it Carlos? Is it
I kept hearing the term both from Brody when he was down. He said, "Don't let them hurt me anymore." Them. He said them. Then when Savio Vega came to get me, he said, "They are looking for you." In both incidents, they used the term "they," which gave me the impression that it was a conspiracy. See, what I think what happened, I'm giving my opinion on this, because I watched some of the Dark Side, and I hear one of the guys say that Brody said he's going to get his money back even if he got to beat the hell out of him. So, and then I hear that Carlos Colon had gambling debts. Now, there's something that's not here at the airport. There was a guy at the airport sitting with me. He would go back and forth. He was a nurse's assistant, CNA, and he said, "Man, I'm sorry about what happened to your buddy." I said, "Yeah." I said, "The doctor," I said, "They should sue the hospital." He said, "They had a guy stable." He said, "No, it wasn't the hospital." I said, "It wasn't?" He said, "No." He said, 2 seconds after you left, 2 seconds, he said some security people came and told us, stop working on the wrestler. They went to the hospital and finished the job with this guy, this orderly. Is that what you call him, orderly? He told me that. He was there.
So let me ask you: have you ever, after this is all said and done, and you're still wrestling, you ever run across Carlos Colon again?
Yeah.
And what's your feelings there? Are you just
How
like
awkward is that? Or is it
I
just
just watched
the business just made you
Well, see,
indifferent after?
I don't mean to bring race into it, but
Okay.
me being a black man, I can't do what other people do.
Okay.
I can't. Carlos is rich and powerful. I'm a poor old black man. Whatever happened, they're gonna blame me. I can't do what they do. Like when me and Tommy Wi-Fi Rich go out and get drunk and miss a show, they fire me to made Tommy world champion. You understand? I learned
Unbelievable.
that. A lot of people don't want to believe that's how the world.
So you felt helpless kind of during this.
I was helpless.
That's
you know.
interesting.
So the best thing for me to do, I had nobody on my side.
Okay.
Even I noticed Brody didn't have one friend in the world, not one. Everybody turned their back on him that day.